Right. One second, figuring out my time here. Okay. Welcome. Namaste. I think this is working. Shelly, I see that you're here. If you are and you can hear me, if you can type that in the chat box, that would be wonderful and amazing. And there is a little bit of a lag with this YouTube. And so sometimes it might take me a little bit to respond. Yay, it's so wonderful to be here with you. And I want to take a moment and thank Jen. I don't know if she's here, but she helped me set this up and get this going. Thank you, Jen. It's working. I'm so happy and excited to be here. So I want to just take a moment and set my intention for today and just gonna give anyone who may be watching this a sense of sort of where I'm wanting to go with this, where I'm wanting to open into with this, and then we'll get started. So my intention is really just to hold space and to have space for spirit to move through, to be able to offer guidance and support, whether through tarot on Tuesdays. And then in other places, one of the first things that came when I sat down today was like, oh, I actually want to talk about what's going on in the world and astrology and the collective. And so probably creating some space for that flow to come through. And then different other healing processes, human design, astrology, meditations, qigong, we'll see. But I think starting with tarot is really fun. And so, yeah, it's wonderful to be here. And I apologize for my voice. I have wonderful Tennessee allergies that have gone and then come back again. And I would like to get started today by just pulling a card for us collectively, something that will sort of hold the intention for the week. And what is it that perhaps us as a group, hey Dee, it's working better today. And something that will sort of support us through the week. For anyone who tunes in, I have quite a few people who are going to be watching online, and so if you're at home with me now, if you could just take a few moments and close your eyes, and let's just all sort of tune into the bigger fractal space. And we'll have time for unique questions soon, but for now, let's just take a moment and really open to what do we as a collective need to know, or what do us as a group really need to know to open into and be present with into the next week. What can support us? What guidance will serve us? And where can we most clearly move from? And I'm working with the same cards I worked with last week. These are some of my favorite ones. The Crystal Mandala Oracle. Powerful. I know this card very well. And I noticed that the writing is going to be backwards for you guys earlier when I was practicing, but it's Goddess Ishtar. Oh, it's actually not now. It wasn't my Zoom. And Astrophyllite, and it's Daring Rebirth. So very, very powerful card. If any one of you want a closer picture, I'll send you it via text. Just take a moment and look at the card. Look at the crystal. Try to get it in the right framing. Okay. And notice what it means and feels to you. The darkness surrounded by light. The star birthing and the circles supporting it. It's time for us to let things go. I think that's happening anyways, right? It's time for us to trust in the rebirthing that is happening. I'll be honest, I don't think it means we're going to be born this week. I think we're in the process, but it's an opportunity for us to both go into the shadow and through that shadow, allow us to birth open into the greater light. Each one of us at this time is really being asked to nourish and ground so that we can hold the vibration that is calling us to come forward, so that we can hold the vibration of what is to come. And I'm just reminding myself, and maybe some of the other people here, is that we have to be patient, right? Because it takes time to build up that vibration. It takes time to build up to that energy. And what we're stepping into, what we're birthing into, is much bigger than we probably have the capacity for at this time. So be patient, be present, and to be with what is. And so I think the theme for this week is, what do we need to let go of? And where do we need to surrender? And by let go of, it doesn't mean even in the physical world. It might mean a pattern. It might mean a belief. It might mean an attachment to a part of ourselves or identity. And where is it? Not that we're necessarily wanting to manifest and be born, but where is it that we can let go so that life can take us to where that birth is meant to happen? So very, very powerful card. Daring rebirth. Yeah, great. Let's open our hearts and go along for the ride. So I'll start with the people here who are live. I see Shelly has already left a question. And Shelly would just love to hear about guidance and direction and support for her work. Shelly is in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And Shelly, I'm going to pick one of our good old favorite cards here. Takes me a moment just to see what's coming up. This is not your card, but this deck is one of my decks I've had for over 20 years and is really, really clear. So I'm just going to take a moment and sort of tap into what may Shelly need to know most about her work. And the first thing that comes as I even shuffle it, hey, Sam, he's here, he's present. Sam is one of Shelly's cats, and he says the animals will lead you and the animals will guide you. And so there's something to tune into there, and there's some messages coming in there through them, and through Sam in particular. So that might be really good for you to connect with. They're very close. And I feel like it has something to do with some of the rebirth that we're going in. Now, unfortunately for us in the world, right, we think about prosperity and how do we make money and we have to take care of ourselves and all this. And yet the image I got when Sam came up, Shelly, is that you're doing so much work on the fractal and to know that it is going to support you, but it's more important than even figuring out of how you're going to be supported right now, right? It's sort of like working on that deeper web. Okay, and I'm going to pull a couple cards here. Okay. So the first card that came is Page of Wands. And so for me, I think Page of Wands is the message, right? And it's fire, so it could be a more physical message than a message from Sam, but a message from Spirit is coming for you. There is going to be movement, there's going to be creativity, and there's going to be flow and energy that wants to bring your creative forces into life. But it's just the beginning, and it's also about waiting for that message. Okay. Okay. And then the second card that came up, Shelly, is Wheel of Fortune, which to me feels very, very powerful and very, very potent. And obviously, there's the ups and downs of the wheels, but it is a major arcana. And I know that you, more than most people, have been in a period of waiting, right? You've been in this period of waiting. You've been in a period of patience. This tells me there's going to be some movement and some fortune coming your way. And so it's really about trusting and continuing to tune in and know that the work that you're doing is important and it is affecting things. And so the timing, I think, is going to move. And I'm just going to pick one more card. What is one more thing that can bring Shelly guidance? And more waiting. I don't think there's going to be so much waiting in the sense of the Wheel of Fortune is coming, but it's like really focus at what's in front of you. Do your practices, do the mundane, do the things you're doing, and then also start to dream in. This is the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups can sometimes be like fully manifesting, dreaming in the energy, dreaming in the flow, dreaming in that space. But it's also about focusing on what's there in front of you. And so what I'm seeing here, Shelley, for you, this is a little bit different what the card traditionally means, but it's like being in the body. How can you get in the body more? How can you be in the physical more? How can you be like really in touch? So through your Qigong practice, through your yoga practice, through whatever it is that you are. And from that more embodied state, from that material state, how can you open in to the greater flow? And then what is it that you want to dream in and manifest? But there's something about you being in the more physical body and being. I want to keep pulling cards, but I'm also aware of time. And I think that's a good one, right? We have the Page of Wands, messages coming, messages not just from spirit, but opportunities. Wheel of Fortune coming your way. So trusting in that process. And then the Four of Cups, get in the body, continue to dream in what you'd like to do, and then move from there. Okay, beautiful. Feel free to leave any more comments you like, Shelley. And Dee, I am so sorry. Hello, Yuna. I am so sorry to hear about this. Oh, I'm just holding you in so much love. Yeah, I'm holding you in so much love. The first thing that I want to draw for you is I want to draw one of these crystal oracle cards, and I will send you a ritual to do with it later because I find these very, very powerful. And so the first card that I'm going to pick for Dee, and her question is, I would love to hear about my love life. Will my 2 weeks old ex come back, and what are his intentions? Why did he break up? Okay. So big change, right? So the first thing, without even getting into the question, is just what does Dee most need to know right now? What can support Dee most at this time? Ascended Master Yogananda and Rhodonite, empowered service. Okay. And so the first thing that comes to me, and so beautiful with the Om symbol, the first thing that comes to me is actually the ashram and the Kootenays. I have no idea if you desire to go there, and I know it's a Shivananda ashram, but something about going and being in retreat and being in a space where perhaps you could ground in and do some karma yoga or something like that at that time. Rhododendrite, it is a beautiful crystal, and it's actually we have it native on Vancouver Island. I don't know if it's in the Kootenays. Dee is in the Kootenays in British Columbia. But to me, it's all about a grounded heart and coming into the grounded heart and being able to move in that space in that way from a grounded present and a grounded place. And so empowered service, it's like, how can you come into your heart and then move into a sacred space and sacred practices, sacred ritual? I would even think maybe going into a retreat place or going into nature and moving slowly and gently from there. And not about serving the world, right? Like some of what will come up in when I'll send you, it'll be about serving the world. It'll be about taking it out there. Right now, I think it's about coming into the heart and moving through each moment, each space, chop wood, carry water in a place of sacred energy. Okay. And so let's pick some of these cards for you, Dee, as well. I know you know them well, the Rider-Waite. Okay, and I'm just going to start by picking some cards for Dee. What's going on? What's going on with her ex? Is there potential of him coming back? What reasons might there be for him making the choice to end the relationship? So the first thing that comes for me, Dee, before I pick any card, it's about him more than it's about you. Which of course doesn't help at all. But it's not anything that you did, even if there's something that's like, oh, this is what you did, and this is why I'm leaving or why it's not working. It's more about him finding himself and his power. And it's more about a path that he is on or needs to go on. I think he is in a place that I don't want to say feel confused. He actually feels quite grounded, but in the ground, there's a lot of emotion and a lot of confusion moving through him. And I think one of the only things he really knows right now, or really understands right now, is how can he move forward, right? Like, what does he need? And it's something about putting his own energy first or his path first. And it's something that he needs to do for growth. And it's part of like the master plan for his karmic energy here. Okay, so let's see. Any messages just on why the breakup or about the breakup? Let's just see. Comes through. And I'll pull 3 cards here as well. So the first card is the Knight of Pentacles. And I did choose it when I first pulled it, it was reverse. I'm choosing to read everything at first, right side up here today. So again, this really runs in alignment with what I'm seeing for Woody right now, is that steadiness. It's something about finding his earth, finding his ground, finding his path and his purpose in a more linear way. Something that you have brought to him and the relationship has brought to him is a real opening, right? And a real sense of opening and awareness and spirit. And there's something in him that's like, I need to forge my own path or find my own path through who it is. In reverse, it's showing some stubbornness. It's showing a little bit of uncertainty. No, that doesn't necessarily mean he won't come back, but he's working slowly through his stuff. He's not going to move through it quickly. And like I said, it brings it with it that sense of confusion and clarity. I see movement. Like when I tap into him, I feel him quite clear. But this card in reverse is sort of like, yeah, there's some holding back there. So he might not be super clear or super communicative with you at this time. Again, more because of him than because of you. Okay, what else do you need to know? So he's not gonna there's not gonna be more chaos. Okay, so this is the 9 of wands. And so one of the things that, like, when you look at his intentions, I'll be honest, I don't think he knows his intentions yet. Like, I don't think he's that clear on them. But there's part of you and part of your nervous system with this 9 of wands where you're like, oh, like, am I safe? Like, I've just been like beaten across the head, beaten across the heart. I'm like, we had this whole life, right? It's the 9, it's like almost completion. And it's like, can I trust, right? Like, can I trust now? Can I trust in anything? And can I especially trust his intentions? And so one of the things that I get from this is that in the 9, you don't have to worry. This is more your internal purpose, your internal mindset. If he does come to you, when he does come to you, he's going to come with ready to talk or to open. He's not going to be throwing his stuff at you, and there will be a lot more peace than you think. And so any of your fear or any of your stuff that's up right now, I would invite you to just try to let it go. Well, it's not so easy to let go, but try not to focus on it, and to know things are more peaceful than you think. I'm gonna just ask why. Why did this happen? What's going on? I'm gonna pick 4 cards for you, Dee. So this is a big question. So again, we got another opposite card, opposite and upside down. It's the 6 of Cups. And this is like a giving connection with childhood friends. I'm connecting with community, connecting in a sweet way with others. It's like giving and receiving. And so in reverse, there was something, again, and this goes back to what I first saw. Woody felt, I'm sorry, I'm using his name, your ex felt that he wasn't getting what he needed from the relationship. Now, that's not that you weren't giving it, but he wasn't feeling, the word is not fulfilled. It's more like, what is it that he needs? What is it that he wants? He doesn't know, but he was feeling like there was something missing for him or something that is lacking. And that is not lacking again in the relationship. It's not lacking in you. It's lacking within himself. But that reason for it is like coming to a space where he's like, I'm feeling like, yeah, where he's feeling like he's left behind or there's something missing as close as I can put towards it. Okay. So it feels like it's a time for self-searching for him. I can't remember, but I think he's quite a bit younger than us too. So it might also be something astrologically that's calling him to go inward. Then I'm just going to ask one more question, and the question is going to be, will he come back? Mm. So the answer is unclear. Got another reverse as well. I just love all these reverses. So Six of Wands is victorious, right? Like when it's right side up, it's like, yes, there's energy, there's movement, it's coming back, there's flow, there's fire, there's direction. There isn't clear direction on that right now. The Six of Wands isn't saying no, it's not like the Tower, it's not like death, it's over, it's over, it's over, but there's going to be time before there's going to be clarity. He is on that mission. He's on that mission. And so for you, this is the opportunity, as I said before, to come into a space of the heart, groundedness, and that empowered service that we're present with here and now. Okay. And I'll send you the ritual for this and the write-up on this. It'll be great. And know that I'm here. Please feel free to reach out if you want to talk or come visit. All right, Yuna, nice to see you. If you feel like typing in your chat box where you're from, feel free to do so. So I would like to know, please, do you see me going to my old worker and seeing your coworker and friend in 3 days? That is specific, but let's try it. Let's see. I'm gonna use these cards again as well. Belgium, beautiful. Well, it's wonderful to have you with us. I've never been to Belgium, but I will one day soon. Well, maybe not soon, but one day. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Okay. So I'm just going to take a moment and tune into Yuna. And is she going to be seeing her old coworkers going to work within the next 3 days or soon? We can even just say soon. I see connection for you. I see some flow for you. So the first thing I see just is a pleasant connection with someone. You got the Page of Wands too. So you're going to get a message or an invitation. I think if you've got that message and invitation and you can make it happen, then you'll do it. So if you haven't gotten like a specific phone call, oh, the other coworker. Okay, I'll check in. So you're thinking about maybe the bad coworker. Well, this is a pleasant one, right? And this is if there is this flow and energy. I see you going forward and moving. What I think I'm going to ask, if it feels okay, I'm going to ask the cards are what are the energies around this possible meeting? What are the energies around this possible meeting? Because I think the potential is there that you're going to go. Oh my gosh, you're getting the same exact cards as Dee did. Like it's crazy. You're on edge. You're like, I don't know. Like, am I safe? Right? Like, like so crazy. Am I safe? Right? Like, is it safe? Is it okay to move out there? Part of me is like, oh, this is a collective message for us all. But you're grounded, you're safe, you've done your work, you are fine, you are ready. And it's also okay to be aware. Okay, I'm going to continue to ask for more guidance. What is the energy around the situation? And should you go? Okay. I'm going to pick one more card after that one, and then I'll show it. Okay. So you got this was in reverse as well. It's the Two of Wands in reverse. And so right side up, Two of Wands, Two of Swords, sorry. Right side up, Two of Swords is like you feel like you're in bondage, right? You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you don't know what to do. You're stuck. You're in the balance. You're blindfolded. Things feel hard. You try and hold everything together, right? Especially perhaps in this one person and in connection to this one person. And so when it's in reverse, it's a freedom from bondage. It's a shift, right? So know that there's going to be ease. So if you go forward and if you go, which I think you will, because then we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is all about grounding. It's about being empowered. And then the Pentacles would have to do with work or a workplace or a more physical location or something like that. And so in the reverse position, it's sort of all you have to do when you go, because if there's fear holding you back, or if you're like, I don't want to see this person, I don't want this, it's almost like, and you can't see my whole body, but it's like, open your heart, release these swords down. They'll touch the ground. It'll ground the earth. It'll ground the energy, and you can walk forward in. And there's actually a freedom from bondage. And then there's an empowerment there. And this Queen of Pentacles is strength, it's empowerment, it's kindness, it's moving in a grounded place, in a grounded energy. So my sense is don't not go because you're afraid, or don't not go because you're worried about seeing this person. Go with so in reverse, imagine her with her arms open, imagine her blindfold off, or even if it is on because you're not quite sure, there's a grounded energy and there's a flow here. And that you're going to be just walking into it in a space where it's actually be more peaceful than you could imagine, and that you'll be in that empowered space. So I would almost like even just take her out of the picture. And I would say if you had a clear invitation, move forward with it. I think it's great. It'll be an opportunity for you to step into your power. Okay. Any other questions for any of the live people? And then I'm going to pull a couple cards for people who sent their messages in. And just so you know, if you don't already, I'd love if you wanted to subscribe to my channel, or feel free to share with your friends about this. I'm really looking forward to connecting with more people. Okay, Jen, I'm curious if it's for the highest good for me to invest time to learn Python programming to create this idea I have, and is the timing right now? Okay, so I'm going to use these cards for you too, Jen. And Jen's in Cortez Island, BC. Oh, sorry, Yoon, I just saw your last question. I'll go back to that in a second, okay? Actually, I'm going to finish with Yuna first. Actually, I see it happening within a few weeks, more than a few days. And I think if it's possible, it's fine if it happens in a few days, but if you can stretch it out for a few weeks, that will actually give you more space to walk into it in a more grounded way. It'll be fine in couple weeks, but I feel like, in a couple days, but I think in a few weeks, there'll be more chance for empowerment and peace with them. Okay. So let's connect with Jen. Just had a beautiful conversation with Jen on Sunday, and she's the reason I'm not freezing, or the camera's working and everything's working. Okay. So the first thing that comes for you, Jen, around the Python programming is it going to take you out of the body too much? And is it going to take you more like into the head? And if it's going to be really heady and something you have to focus on, then the message I get is if you move into it is going to be more in the fall, September, October, because right now there is a lot of opportunity, or invitations for you to be in presence. I don't know what that means. But my sense is it could potentially take you up into a more heady area or a more brain type area, which isn't bad. But it's sort of like spirit is asking you to be grounded and embodied now. So let me look at the Python programming. I'm going to pull a couple cards. I brought 4 decks with me today, and this one's just like, well, it wants to come through. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to pull them one at a time, Jen, and then I'm going to go through them. Okay, so yours, it's interesting. So the first thing are two of the cards we've already pulled. So lots of wands, lots of creative energy. So the first thing I get is yes, it's definitely something that if you're curious about to move through, you'll be victorious about it and you'll be able to move forward with it. There's energy for it. Again, my sense is the timing is going to be later. But if you do open into this, it's going to bring a lot of change for you. And the change will be good, but it's part of the daring rebirth. And so to know that. The second card is our good old Nine of Wands. Oh my gosh. There is a little bit of fear maybe about going into it, or a little bit of fear of like change, right? And I know you've been through huge change recently, and you're probably like, how's this Python programming going to bring more change? But it has the potential perhaps to open something up or to end something for you. Because then I got the 10 of Swords. And 10 of Swords, I know it looks so scary, but it's like this death that leads to rebirth. And so it's going to be like you're gonna, once you move into it, or as you move into it, it's going to bring some change. It's going to probably make it really clear of what you need to let go of and what you don't want to hold on to anymore. And I know you've already let go of like huge career change and all that. I can pull another card or two to get some more clarity on this in a moment. But it's sort of like, okay, well, what else? What are you still sort of holding on to? I don't think it's relationship related. I think if anything, it has to potentially do with some aspects of your work or within something that's going on that you're holding on to it within a pattern or an identity or something you're working for in that way. But after you go through that death, and I don't know again if this has anything to do with Richard, but perhaps potential opportunities. King of Wands coming in, creative energies, creative flow. And I'm getting shivers when I say this, a recognition or an opportunity to take the idea further and to have it to be a little bit bigger. And again, the message I got, and it's just because I know of your experience, it could have to do with something with Richard. I'm not going to, or the organization or something where it gets brought in with that or used with that, or it could be someone totally different, or something totally different. But it's sort of like, yes, you're going to be victorious. Yes, move forward. But know when you do, there's going to be change. There's going to be shift. There's going to be things you need to let go of. And then there's going to be a helper that comes in that's going to be able to take it further. And I'm going to ask for clarity on what this change is or what it has to do with that you may need to let go of, that may or may not need to let go of, that is just going to be let go of. So we got the Queen of Swords in reverse. And so Queen of Swords in reverse, it's something about, to me, the mind, right? And it's something about perhaps over-identification with the mind or an identity of who you thought you would be. Now it's in reverse. So it's, again, what are you holding on to? Instead of having this clear direction from spirit or being clearly directed with spirit, what's going to die or what's going to be let go of or what's going to be shift has more to do with the attachment to the identity, and the things that are actually getting in a way of the highest alignment of your soul and your path. So it's scary when we're in it. I don't think you're afraid of it now. I don't pick that up for you. But just when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, can I do this? Or, oh my God, what am I doing? And then there's pieces of you or these energies of you will fall away. But it's more to do with mental processing, more to do with patterning. And I get more to do with a sense of identity or attachment to a certain aspect of identity, which will actually then open you up to be more of a clear channel for spirit. And you already are. So it will be very powerful and beautiful. Hope that makes sense. But my sense is I would wait a couple months. Unless you get the urge, like if there's a really clear message, trust yourself and start anytime. But when I closed my eyes and tuned in, I got maybe like in September, October. Okay. Any other questions? Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple cards for a couple of people that had left questions that aren't here. And so this is for Amanda, and Amanda is in Ontario, Canada. For those of you tuning in that don't know, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. And so for Amanda, her question was around work and how her job is ending in the fall and what she might open into around work. And the next steps for that. So again, Amanda, I'm going to be pulling you some of these same cards. Okay. And I just have a really clear picture and I just want to see what the cards say. I'm going to pull 3 cards to start. You're done fighting, number 1. You've got the 7 of Wands. So any struggle, any sense of struggle is shifting for you. I believe this is around your relationship as well as your work. It will come easy and effortlessly. High Priestess, deeper connection with spirit, deeper connection with soul and path that's in alignment with your soul. Now, I feel that some of the work is going to come to you is going to be more alignment perhaps with motherhood. But it doesn't mean that you're going to all of a sudden be a Qigong therapist. You're going to continue working in the fields you're working in, but it'll be a job that is related more to more where you're honored and more when you're in alignment and you don't have to work so hard to fit in with the group. 3 of Pentacles in reverse means you might have to pause and that it might be in a new organization. So it might not be in a place where people already know you and can see you. And I'll pull one more. Yeah. And then the Death card, change. So different, new, change. And my sense and my curiosity for you is if this is the time or around the time, and I don't really like to plant seeds so much, and we're not getting the Empress card. Sorry, my Death card is not showing. But I see a stepping into motherhood coming soon, and I'm wondering if that's happening in September. More card, Knight of Cups. So love, connection, creativity, flow. And so what I'm seeing and sensing here again is something that's way more in alignment with you and for you. And even if it isn't like you're not going to have your baby in September, but even if it isn't news of the pregnancy at that time, something that's more connected than where you're at now and something that's more in alignment for where you're at now. So it feels wonderful and very exciting. And trust, don't fight it. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to figure it out at all. The next message is from TK in Nashville, Tennessee, someone I know very well. And he wants to know, does the universe or divine have any guidance on the rest of the year for him? And I'm going to pull an Ascended Master card. I'm just going to pull one word card for him. If there's one word or one message for the divine for dear Tom, what would it be? Rest of the year. So beautiful. Trust. Open to trust, Vishnu. All is well. All as it needs to be. Things are going to unfold in the perfect timing. I know this person very well. Continue with your practice, continue with your mantra, continue with your prayers. All is in alignment. The flow will be there in all areas. It's very beautiful, very powerful. I'll keep this one out. And then GAA on Vancouver Island, BC, has a couple questions. What steps does she need to take to meet a man? How do I crack this block I've been stuck in for years? And am I missing something major that's preventing me from cracking this block? So I'm going to pull an Ascended Masters card first for what does she need to do to meet a man? If there's anything that comes that can support JA and opening up to connecting with love. Interesting. So I'm going to be curious what she has to say about this. We've got purification. and White Tara. This card actually, I think, came up for us last week. And so to me, Jeannie, like, I know you're doing purification. I know you're really working on yourself. I know both in your energy healing and then also in some of the things you're stepping into. So I would say, number one, trust that you're on the right path. What comes in very clearly for me here is that inviting you to call in the divine white light to come in and bring healing towards you and to flow through you, to continue connecting with spirit and allowing the heaven energy to come down through the earth and to know that you're on the right track. That's number one. And then as far as your perceived blocks, I'm going to pull 3 cards for this. How do you get past the block? What's the major thing that might be in the way? So these are interesting cards, and this again is someone I know quite well. Okay, it's happening. It's coming. So we've got the 7 of wands cups in reverse. 7 of cups right side up is living in fantasy world, being 2 in the head, having too many things going on. Now JA is a manifesting generator from human design. So it's her thing to have lots of different things. She's supposed to have a lot of different things going on. But one of the things that's coming in the reverse is how can you get out of the mental processes, especially the ones that are causing you pain, or especially the ones that are more cyclical. I know you do your work, so it's more just continuing to do that work. I think the program you're entering will help with that a lot. And doing what you can to ground and bring that energy down into being instead of out in the head. This to me is not about visualizing manifestation. It's more about getting into the body and not like bringing your focus to one area, but not letting the mind take you to every place that you're not. Sadhguru often says it's like this moment is inevitable. So how do we come back to this moment? And then we've got the 5 of Swords. And this is like, it's both about standing in your power, but it's also like other people aren't really happy about this. And so to me, some of this comes up with childhood stuff. It's unpacking the childhood stuff. It's coming into a place where you can feel in your power without feeling guilty for owning that power and that radiance. And it's also about cutting clear the patterns, the people, and the things. And we were just talking about this that are no longer serving you and no longer good for you or present or there for you. And it feels scary because people aren't going to be happy about it. People like you the way you are. And people want to see you the way you are. And so knowing that it's okay to stand strong in yourself, it's not going to be comfortable, but it's continuing to speak your voice and your truth. And that block is going to change. We've got death. You've been in a process. I know it's been a 5-year process. And within this 5-year process, there's been a lot of shifting and a lot of change and a lot of what seems like stagnancy. And this is great because I kept thinking, is the tower going to come up for Jeannie? Is the tower going to come up? And this is so much better than the tower because death is often a longer process. And you've been in this process. And with death, we come back to this first card, daring rebirth. And so you are in the dying process. The block is going to shift. Things are going to change. And I think, it's not it's life. It's like you're unwinding that's been in the way of this. So stand in your power, try to get out of the head, bring your focus, continue with your energy work, your own practice, and know that the change will come. Okay. Great. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, anything at all that anyone would like to share? Feel free to put it in the chat box. And if not, I thank you so much for being here and for being present. I'm planning on doing this every week. I had a bunch of people send me questions just in case, but today was great to have you with us. Please let people know 2 p.m. CST. You can ask a question every week if you want. And you can always email it to me too if you can't be here. And then I think I'll try and pick out one other day a week to come and share some astrology or some of the collective channeling that wants to come through. So keep an eye out for that. And there'll be little videos, I think, on human design and different stuff coming up soon. So thank you all so much for being present with me today. And yeah, I love you all. Namaste. Bye. I got to figure out how to stop my Zoom now.